The USS Nimitz encounter, evidence, interpretation, and the limits of inference. The 2004 USS Nimitz encounter, often associated with Commander David Fravor and what is commonly called the TicTac video, has become one of the most frequently cited pieces of evidence in modern discussions about unidentified aerial phenomena. Unlike many earlier UFO stories, this event involves trained military personnel, multiple sensor systems, and later confirmation by the U.S. Navy that the footage is authentic. Because of this, the encounter is often presented as strong evidence, or even proof, of non-human intelligence. Tonight, I want to slow that conclusion down. I want to summarize what happened, explain how it became public, and then examine whether the evidence actually supports the claim that this was non-human intelligence, or whether more ordinary explanations remain sufficient. In November of 2004, the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group was conducting training exercises off the coast of Southern California. Radar operators aboard the USS Princeton detected unknown aerial objects descending from high altitude to near sea level at astonishing speeds. These radar contacts persisted over several days. This prompted the launch of F-18 fighter jets to investigate visually. Commander David Fravor was one of the pilots involved. He later described encountering a white oblong object, about 40 feet long, with no visible wings, exhaust, or seen means of propulsion. Fravor said the object moved erratically and appeared to mirror his aircraft's maneuvers, before suddenly accelerating away. Shortly afterward, the object reportedly appeared at a pre-arranged combat air patrol point, suggesting, at least to some, a form of anticipatory behavior. Later that day, another aircraft captured infrared footage of a similar object using an advanced targeting pod. That footage, now widely known as the TicTac video, shows a small object with no obvious aerodynamic features moving across the screen before quickly exiting the frame. The event became widely known through the efforts of several individuals. A journalist brought early military accounts to public attention. A former Defense Department intelligence official advocated for transparency. A former Pentagon program official spoke publicly about the investigation, and Commander Fravor himself gave interviews describing the encounter in detail. Supporters of the non-human intelligence interpretation point to several things. They emphasize the apparent performance of the object, rapid acceleration, no visible propulsion, and sudden directional changes. They point to the credibility of the witnesses, experienced pilots and radar operators, and they argue that multiple forms of evidence, radar, infrared video, and eyewitness testimony, support one another. From this perspective, the object seems to outperform known aircraft technology, especially for the year 2004. Some conclude that no human technology could behave this way, and that the object's apparent awareness of the patrol point suggests intelligence rather than randomness. It is easy to see why this interpretation is attractive. But attraction is not evidence. The central problem is not whether something unusual occurred. Something clearly did. The real question is whether the evidence justifies the leap to non-human intelligence. And here, the case weakens. The publicly available evidence is incomplete. We have short video clips, retrospective testimony, and second-hand descriptions of radar data. We do not have the full sensor records, electronic warfare logs, or calibration data needed to rule out sensor errors or misinterpretation. Human perception, even among trained professionals, is not infallible. High-speed, three-dimensional encounters without clear reference points are exactly the conditions under which distance, speed, and size are most easily misjudged. Sensor systems can also produce artifacts, especially when tracking small or ambiguous targets. Most importantly, invoking non-human intelligence is an extremely strong claim. It introduces a vast number of new assumptions: unknown agents, unknown technologies, unknown intentions. Before we reach for such explanations, we are obligated to exhaust simpler ones. Advanced human technology, classified test platforms, electronic warfare spoofing, or even poorly understood atmospheric or plasma phenomena remain plausible. None of these require rewriting our understanding of intelligence itself. From an epistemological standpoint, this matters. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Anomalies alone are not enough. Occam's razor reminds us that when multiple explanations fit the data, the one that introduces the fewest new assumptions should be preferred. What would evidence for non-human intelligence actually look like? It would involve recovered materials with a clear chain of custody. It would involve repeatable observations under controlled conditions. It would involve public, multi-sensor datasets that independent analysts could examine. It might involve information-bearing communication or demonstrable intelligent response. None of that is present here. The rational response to the Nimitz encounter is not dismissal, but restraint, curiosity without credulity, investigation without narrative inflation. The USS Nimitz encounter is compelling not because it proves non-human intelligence, but because it shows how quickly mystery can outrun measurement. It is a reminder that disciplined skepticism is not cynicism. It is the price of knowing the difference between the unknown and the unknowable.